Our opening section is a fireside chat that looks at one brand's journey balancing tradition with transformation. This is the story of how a brand with rich heritage successfully transformed into a thriving omnichannel business with international reach. In a hot seat is Howell Wong, Regional Director, Transformation and Operations at SMCP. A digital native and commercially driven marketing professional with both in-house and agency experience, Howell has a proven track record in the development and implementation of business transformation programs, consumer insights-led business development projects, and various brand-lifting marketing campaigns. And guiding the conversation will be Christine Kang, Head of Strategic Projects at Emarsys. Howell, Christine, please come on stage.
I'm so thrilled to be here in Hong Kong and welcome you to this first session on innovating tradition. Being in Hong Kong with such a rich heritage and this forward-thinking spirit, I couldn't think of a better backdrop to have this conversation with Howell. Howell, we have a room full of experts today and leaders, and we're very fortunate to have you on stage, one of them. You have more than 20 years of experience in marketing and also business transformation. To start us off, would you like to share a bit more about your background and journey so far?
I can do. So hello, everyone. So my name is Howell. I think there's, so when you're looking at my titles, right, I think a lot of people don't know that I used to be an engineer. I used to be working in a UK mobile phone factory and doing soldering irons and lifting heavy equipments. You know, there's a lot of things that it's a big transformation, you know, for since I started, you know, as an engineer life. And then for the first half of my career, it's mainly transforming myself. I moved from engineer to after sales to agency to I have some of my ex-colleagues here in luxury and also FMCG and now the French fashion. So the first half is almost like transforming myself. My second half of my career is probably more about transforming companies. So including the luxury, including the FMCG, you know, I mentioned just now. And right now I am in SMCP. I'm not only looking after the digital and transformation, but I'm also looking after the retail ops, the IT, and also supply chain as well. So it's a bit of a transformation for myself as well in that sense.
So as you just said, you've brought this wealth of experience at SMCP. Who is SMCP in a few words?
Yeah, that SMCP, if you look at the word, I think my company always mistaken as another media company in Hong Kong. So SMCP actually stands for three brands. It's called Sandro, March, and Corte Piello. In fact, we have the fourth brand we recently acquired. It's called Fireside as well. It's only available in France currently, but hopefully moving to Asia very soon. We are our company vision is about spreading Parisian elegance to the world. And our mission is to be the leader of the accessible luxury. That's really the company is all about. We have roughly about 1,700 touch points in the world, covering 47 markets. Within this region, including China, we have roughly about 300 stores, 300 stores, and not including the online touchpoint as well. So we are literally kind of everywhere. Yes.
Such an international reach. And I can add as well, as a client of SMCP, that they truly understand their clients. Just talking to Howell on Zoom twice, I think he was able to spot what product I would be drawn to. So speaking of understanding your clients, Asia now, the clients are becoming increasingly digital, right? So how do you see this evolving your brand? And what are some key projects and milestones that you have achieved at SMCP?
Yeah, I think well, one of the key things for consumer nowadays is one of the key observation is they are certainly becoming less brand loyal, and too many touch points, too many options, too many messages, you know. So I think the consumer are kind of like in a very confused mode when they are going through their shopping journey nowadays. So we often ask ourselves is, you know, what is the, you know, I always speak to my team is about the consumer jobs to be done. You know, what is the jobs to be done, you know, for our consumer. So just for a few example, right? It can be just simply look good. So how can I go out and buy something and make me look good? How can I buy a sustainable products? How can I get some personalized recommendation? How can I get my products very quickly or conveniently? I think that's kind of the jobs to be done that we always think about. So when I joined SMCP 3 years ago, I noticed there's one key problem is we don't actually have the structure or the infrastructure that to support that, and also the compliance issue as well. So that at that time there's a lot of data privacy. There's a lot of new regulation just came out. So when I first started in SMCP, the first step that I did is to change the infrastructure. It's changing the program. So we deployed the new CDP CEP. We changed the OMS. We deploy new channels, messaging tools like WeCom, like WhatsApp Business. So we basically very busy on the foundation as started, and then I think for the last 2 years it's probably more about how can I make use of those tools and then deploying different omnichannel services. We changed the loyalty program into loyalty points program in China. So we've done quite a few things to basically reach out to the consumer more efficiently and effectively. That's certainly one thing that we did try. I think for the omnichannel services, I want to highlight that we is something that we simply give you a quick example is the ship from store. So we are not only shipping from the warehouse nowadays, we are shipping directly from store. We are using the store inventory to ship to the customer if they place an online order. Only for that project, it has already, within the 3 months that after we launched, it's already paid off the investment that we have done. So I think it was very encouraging. And then for the loyalty point program, we recently just launched, I think early this year, for the redemption, for the transaction with using the redemption voucher is up to a million euros sort of value. So all this is actually takes time. How can you think about the foundation and then how to deploy, and then of course for the next period or the next stage, we're still constantly optimizing the services and how to improve it and reach out to our consumer better.
Well, congratulations on all those milestones, first of all. I guess you just mentioned, right, how loyalty is key. So acquiring those clients, but also retaining them. And often we think about storytelling as a way of acquiring. It can also be key in driving loyalty and driving online to offline offerings. So how do you use storytelling?
To just give you an example, I think we have every season, we have roughly about 500 references, on our clothes. And we have, if you say 500 references, roughly about 3,000 SKU that we have every season. So we have 2 seasons in a year. So it's roughly about 6,000 unique SKU that we have in store and online. So we really want to make sure that the consumer, knowing them. And we can't tell each of the consumer about that 6,000 SKU. So how to do that is actually about personalization. Is how can we really tailor-make and tailor-make and understand the consumer and tailor-make the message to them. So I think for the broader communication, we've been trying to use in-store live streaming, say for example, because we believe we use celebrity and KOLs as well, but very often we find the sales at our shop is actually the best gatekeeper. They know the consumer best. So how can we use them to communicate about our products, our brand story to a one-on-one engagement or even through the live streaming channel. So that's something that we really focusing. And also we've been using AIGC. Say for example, we using AIGC to craft our content better, the EDM better, the subject title better, and then we even exploring to use AIGC to create some of the content for our consumer. So in a way, we're exploring a virtual fitting right now. So in a way, I can Christine, I actually could use that yesterday for you. I can say that, hey, Christine, can I have a picture of you? Can I have your snapshot of you? And then I can just have using AI to paste on the suggested gests I recommended for you, and I can let you take a look. And then if you like it, then I can just send you a payment link, and then I can send it directly to your home. So that's something that we are currently exploring right now. So.
And on top of this, I guess AI also can help with generating the content of the message that you're sending.
Yep.
And we have so many channels nowadays, right? With the messenger apps, you mentioned WhatsApp, we have Line, there are also social networks like TikTok. So for marketers who want to expand their reach, what cues would you have to choose the right channel? And what can those channels bring to their strategy?
Good question. I think first of all, I think you need to, I talk about consumer jobs to be done, right? So I think we really have to understand, the role of each of the channels first. I think because I think nowadays we have so many different digital channels or even physical channels. We have fringe stores in there. So how are you going to define the role of each of the channels? And then ask yourself about the why. I always say that the why, the how, and the what, right? So the why the consumer should listen to you. You need to give them a context, and then how you're gonna approach them, and what is what are you going to offer to the consumer? So every time, I think we recently roll out. I see my partners here, Avery here, Omnichannel. So we recently roll out Omnichannel in Singapore, Malaysia. I think one of the key things that I tell the retail operation there is, every time when we open the conversation with our consumer, it has to have some value. So what is the things that we want to offer to them? What is the things that we try to talk to them, and they find it interesting, they find it useful. So I think that's really important, for that sort of communication and retaining customer as well.
And when we define the strategy, you mentioned the why and the what. Then when I think about strategy, I always think as well about execution. I'm sure there are quite a few people here in the room, the head of marketing, CMO, and their counterpart as well on the technical side, who want to make sure that it's as smooth as possible for their teams. So how do we actually ensure that this is the case, and that, managing this change management, and that they are not overwhelmed by execution?
And the IT guy usually speak tech jargon. We often, scare my boss with the tech jargon. Oh, we need this because it's a compliance. We need to have this. So, but I think in a way, is every single program is about change management as well. So how can we? I think one keyword is about stakeholder management, right? So how can you ensure your stakeholder is buy-in to the things that you roll out? Simply put, I mentioned about ship from store, right? So think about that. It's very simple concept. I'm not only shipping from warehouse, but I'm shipping from my store and the warehouse to my online order. Very simple concept. But I can tell you that I have a huge war in a way with my finance team, with my retail team, with my online team. They were like, finance team were arguing, hey, how can you reporting the different P&L? Oh, the retail team will say that, hey, you're using my staff to fulfilling the online order, and then the online guys will say, well, why you are paying the offline guy the commission? My God, that's like a huge war going on. So I think it's important. It's important for us to understand the different stakeholder pain point. How are you going to? I think it's almost like an internal marketing campaign in a way. So is how can you tell the story? How can you dumb it down? Make sure your top management understand the context, understand the ROI. Yeah, I think this is why I think basically managing the stakeholder is absolutely key. Understand the pain point, and then how can you roll out step by step as well? That's absolutely key for us.
So on top of listening to the client, it's also listening and understanding the internal stakeholder, as you just say, and speaking their language, right? So you're deploying quite a lot of technology infrastructure, making sure that you have the team and as well as experts who can help you and guide you on the technology. What are your next steps then for SMCP?
I think we keep listening or we keep listening and keep understanding the consumer behavior. I think that's the consumer, even though I can tell you that even 3 years ago when I joined SMCP and 3 years later, I think the consumer behavior is shifting already, even before COVID and after COVID. So I think that's something that we keep listening to them and understand their needs, and then how to constantly delight them as well. That's something that I think my team is actively trying to do. Second is don't stop innovate. I know. I think I don't know how many retail counterparts here. Retail is tough right now, especially in Hong Kong. But however, don't stop innovate. I think is innovate. Sometimes yes, it does cost money, but sometimes it doesn't cost money too. So how can you changing the ways of working, changing the process, changing the just the normal ways you do things? I think is keep changing and keep innovate, and then keep building POC, keep building the proof of concept. So my last step is how can I copy the POC and expand it to other places. Like I mentioned, I think the the services or the success that we have done, like the ship from store, the NSIOs, the loyalty point program, all this thing, right, mainly happen in China right now, because I think 3 years ago, most of my foundation is actually built in China because of the compliance issue at start. Now it's about how am I going to copy that into rest of Asia? How do I copy this best practice into Hong Kong, into Singapore, Malaysia, and even Australia as well? So that I rely on my partners like Emarsys and Omnichannel. How can I, rely on you guys to basically have that learning, build that innovation, proven, and then to copy it into other places. Of course, every market is different. Even Hong Kong and Singapore is very different in terms of consumer behavior and touch point. So how can we, adapt it in a way? That's also important as well.
And exactly, this is what we were discussing earlier, but using the power of data and the technology to scale, but still keep this tradition and the French or Parisian chic, bring it and adapting it to the different markets where you're present. So, Howell, thank you so much. Thank you for your insight, your milestones, your learnings, and we are very pleased to have you. We are very lucky to have SMCP as client, and we are looking forward to more success together.